Hi friends, Caixas here, and today we're going to be giving you a live early thoughts review on a game that's been topping the Steam charts here lately. Today we're going to be taking a look at Temtem. Now, a lot of people may have questions about this game. I know I've seen people saying everything from what's this game about to will this be a Pokemon killer, and should Nintendo be worried, and why is it still let out here if it looks exactly like Pokemon? Why have they not released it off Steam? And so, the first thing I would like to address is, what's this game about? Obviously, you've got monsters in this game, they're called Temtems, that you're going to be capturing and battling. It's very similar to Pokemon in that aspect. You actually start at your mom's house and visit a professor where you get your first Temtem and battle your rival. Outside of that and the overall, and I mean broad overall concept of the game itself is a lot different. As you can see, I can already see people around me. This game has an MMO concept to it. In theory, you're going to be able to take this game and chat real time with people, interact, trade, battle, do all these things that Pokemon doesn't have the ability to do. Yes, Pokemon has instilled max raids, and we have those at the moment, but those aren't always on. You can choose if you want to be participating in max raids, whereas Temtem, the MMO concept, is always on. Another thing to note is that the battle style is vastly different than Pokemon, and it starts to have some strategic implications as well as overall basic structure differences that make this game extremely unique. So while we're in a battle, I'd like to go over that first. So you can see Temtem defaults as a 2v2 battle system, which is completely different than Pokemon. We have moves that you're used to, and each move has a cost. It's not a PowerPoint like you're used to in Pokemon. Rather, it's related to this blue bar that's underneath my health gauge up here. There's stamina. All of these moves are guaranteed hits. They rely on stamina, though, to be used, and I have to think about what I'm going to be doing before I do it, and I can't always spam my strongest move, because if I try to do a move while I have no stamina, then I'm going to injure my Temtem, and I'll have to wait until I get stamina back. There's status afflictions like poison that you've seen in Pokemon, but it makes it to where you have to think a lot harder about your strategy. Also to note, these lines on the moves themselves, these colored lines, they actually have an implication. 2 lines means this move won't be available until my second turn in battle. 1 means it's available right away. Once it's used, I'm going to have to wait that same amount of time. The colors correspond to the type for the Mon, or for the Temtem in this case. So you can use these just like battling normally, but remember there's no RNG to this, so all moves will hit every time. Now the battle system has some really nice cell shading, really nice visuals to it. I'm really enjoying that with the game. But just the pure concept that there's no move spam vastly changes the concept of this game from Pokemon. As far as will this game potentially be a Pokemon killer, I don't believe it will be. The game is designed for those of us that grew up with Pokemon and haven't had the game grow with us as gamers. Pokemon can feel rather childlike, and I don't mean that to talk badly about the game, but it's a very simplistic game that was challenging when we were younger, but there's not really much challenge to it anymore outside of potentially competitive battles with other people. Whereas Temtem, you have such a different change of your battles types that it's going to present challenges throughout the game. I believe that everyone can find enjoyment in both games. I have the Pokemon games and I have Temtem, so I think everyone will find enjoyment somewhere with it. I personally think variety is the spice of life, and that Temtem is going to be a great investment for people. As far as Nintendo, should they be worried about this game? I don't believe so. I always think that competition and innovation are driven alongside each other. So hopefully Pokemon and Nintendo and Game Freak can take a look at this and hit areas that they haven't considered before or have been afraid to take too much investment into. Specifically the MMO portion. That's something that I think Pokemon has the ability to do, Nintendo and Game Freak have the ability to do, and they're just afraid to get into that because why try to fix something that's not broken in their concept? but this should open up their eyes to what the possibilities are, which is going to be great. Overall, I like Temtem so far. I've only played roughly about an hour into the game, and already I've been enjoying it, so hopefully this early thoughts review helps you out. Right now it's in early access, so it's not a fully released game. They are anticipating the game being fully done in the second quarter of 2021, and there's a lot coming out for it. So keep your eyes out, and as always, early access means you get a little bit of a discount on the game in order to have it later on, but it may not be fully complete, and there may be a lot of bugs. So overall, I highly recommend this game. Temtem's available on Steam right now for roughly $35, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like, hit subscribe, and stay up to date, and follow us on Twitch and other social media. We'll see you next time.